YouTube land! What's going on, guys? How you doing? We're back with some more YouTube land action. This is Twin Snakes. I forget where we were. Oh boy. Sniper Wolf. We did Sniper Wolf.
We just finished the torture.
That's right, we finished the torture. Yeah.
We did not kill Sniper.
It's been like a week or something.
It's been about like maybe 2 weeks. Week and a half.
My sense time does not exist.
Yeah, I took a break to play Donosoro. If you haven't checked that one out, you should.
Yeah, help us get to 1,000 subscribers. Well, then we can all quit our jobs.
So off screen, I just returned back to the place where Meryl got shot. It was literally just backtracking. There was nothing to see.
Although we definitely do not get the amount of hours necessary a year to to get monetized. I mean, we don't care. Like, even if we had a video go to 100,000 views, I'd be like, cool.
Cool.
And then I would not monetize.
Monetizing also equals giving more money to Google, and I never want to do that for anything.
Yeah, Google. No!
Hey, a recap of 2 weeks ago.
I can still help. I want to help you.
Today, I mean, we're filming this because we're pretty far ahead of schedule. We're filming this on Christmas Eve.
It's Festivus, aka
Festivus. Man, I remember when we used to actually be able to do Festivus, and now I'm just so busy with work this time of year that I can't.
Does Eric still do like something for that?
No, I don't believe so. Because it was pretty much me and Eric were like the heads of like getting stuff set up.
Yeah.
And even if I don't work on December 23rd, which happens once in a while, it's still like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to work a ton the next day, you know, so what's the point? Anyway, now it's time for the Feats of Strength, starring Snake Plissken.
Snake, about Meryl.
Meryl.
Colonel, I'm sorry. Listen to me.
She is literally dead.
I wasn't able to protect her.
Oh, so I watched a video
she's a soldier.
Explaining all the storyline of MGS. I forget if I did that before or after
I'm sure she was prepared for this.
the last time we sat down, but
you're wrong.
Man, MGS4. I forgot literally everything except for
It was the only way.
Johnny Poo Pants and the very, very, very last scene. I literally forgot everything else.
You know, it's like the most convoluted, like, 10-hour movie ever, but when you think about it, like, not that much happens.
That's not like you, Snake. Master?
MGS4 really just, like, rides in the coattails of MGS 1, 2, and 3 to the detriment of the entire story, where they bring back everyone from every game.
Yeah, and there's a certain point where that kind of fan service is cool, but they took it too far with the Colonel Zero thing, and then also, I forgot about, how Big Boss's body was like a huge thing in that game, and then at the very end, spoilers, they were like, lol, JK, Big Boss still alive for 1 second, now he's dead, okay, bye.
You're right.
The Big Boss, like, reveal thing, like, I'm sure that MGS fanboys, like, clapped when they saw that, but it is so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, special.
Yeah, and in the same scene, we find out about Colonel Zero, who's somehow there, like, comatose, almost dead in his wheelchair. I guess Big Boss brought him because reasons. I don't know.
This is like a police
Look at this 100-year-old man who's basically a
I
vegetable.
guess it's in the
Doesn't it feel good to kill him? No, he already did
What are you
everything.
talking about, Colonel?
The Patriots are completely
No,
autonomous.
I just remembered about
Yeah.
Naomi's
It's,
grandfather. I think Naomi said he rose as high as assistant secretary.
It brings up a good
in the
question
FBI
where it's like,
during Edgar Hoover's time.
does
Is that right?
it
Yes.
feel good to be able to take someone like that down after they're like old and sick and almost dead?
When was
And it
that?
does make you ask that, you know what I mean?
I guess
But
so.
it's just
To
like
me,
if,
it's like he's not even conscious that he's alive. Like,
right. It's just like if Hitler survived and hey, it only took me like 8 minutes to make a Hitler reference today. Great. If like Hitler survived and like lived in Argentina, like people like some people thought, and then in like the 1970s or 80s when he was like 80 years old, someone found him and like, I found Hitler, I killed him. It'd be like, okay, that's great, but he was like on hospice and dying. You know what I mean? It's like it's
But it'd be like, you found him in his hospital bed in a coma.
right.
Look,
And then
guys, I killed him.
you put the pillow over his head and it's like, great. What was that?
There's like some gun turn.
Oh, but it's jamming, so it doesn't. Yeah.
Well, that's only jammed for us.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good like question they brought up, but also the dumbest reveal ever. It's just kind of like M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, he's a meme by this point, but like there was a time. Is this disc 2?
Yep.
There was a time when his movies would have like the twist, and you were like, "Wow, that's really cool!" It really makes me think. And then it got to the point where like he made so many movies that had the twist that you were like, every movie must have the twist. He can't have a movie where it doesn't have like the twist, and that just gets very very old real quick. And you almost like expect it. Like I would have respected MGS4 more if at the very end they were like, Big Boss alive by the way, Colonel Zero alive by the way. Now I think Snake has to kill Big Boss because reasons that I don't quite remember. I will say, out of every character in MGS history...
Oh, yeah. Dude, the second half of this game is so weird.
I will say, out of every character in MGS history, I would say Snake has the hardest life. Is there any disagreement to that?
I think Raiden has an even worse life. It's much shorter.
He lives, though.
Yeah, but he's barely alive. Like, in between MGS2 and MGS4, he gives up his human body, and he's basically just a spinal cord and brain. And throughout MGS4, he gets BTFO'd.
He does get
so
BTFO'd. I forget, does Rising happen before or after MGS4?
It's after. Rising is canonically the last game in the series.
Okay. Also, what do you do in this?
It's sort of like a Dawn of Sorrow situation where it's the last game in the chronology, but it doesn't matter because nothing happens.
Right.
In it.
Right. That's fair. Like, what do you do with this if you're playing on like European Extreme?
Use stun grenades, I think. But
oh, okay.
I tried to do this legitimately. It is so much. Like I will lose less health just running through it. This part sucks.
I guess you just make sure you have a bunch of rations and just keep throwing stun grenades.
Yeah.
But man, you have to run straight. Like, what is this? 10 flights of stairs?
Whoa.
That was cool. What if Snake was like, I'm hiding? Like, what if you just put the box on right now? Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that Raiden, like, I could see the argument either way.
He was raised as a child soldier. His parents were killed.
Wasn't Snake raised as a child soldier?
He was, but Raiden got in the clutches of the Patriots, and like was also like after like the child soldier stuff. Like he was basically raised on VR by the Patriots. He has the most nothing life ever.
That is true.
At least Snake got to be a hero and like was employed by like the legitimate like government. Raiden was like a secret black soldier AI black box. His life was a wreck. But I don't know.
I forgot. I messaged Trev the other day and was like, how did Raiden get his body back? And I guess it was just like they gave him a fake but real looking body again. I forget. Was it like blah 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 nanomachines? He had a real body again, or no?
His body's completely artificial.
Okay, but it's not, it doesn't look like a crazy ninja.
Like a crazy I mean, if you look at his body, you can see that he has like
screws and stuff
on his like arms and abs. You can see it's like flesh-colored like plates with screws.
Yeah. And
like he's exactly like the worker Joe's in Alien, where he has white blood.
Why did Kojima do that to Raiden? You think it was just because people were mad about Raiden in MGS2, so he's like, fine, I'm gonna make him the most anti-hero of all not anti-hero.
I almost feel like he probably did do it on purpose, because everyone was like, I don't want to play as Raiden in MGS2. But then in MGS4, they made him like the coolest character ever, where he's like the ultra... I hate you, Silicon Knights.
This is definitely not in the original.
Yeah, it is.
What?
What?
Yeah, you know Kojima did that. If everyone, like, I would I'm petty in some things, so I
threw,
get it.
He threw a grenade to create a shockwave to push him over the ledge. What even happened?
Yeah, that was weird. So I'm petty too. I get it. He's probably like, oh, you don't think he's cool? I'll make him the coolest character ever, and you'll eat your words.
He's the coolest character ever. He, like, 1v1s, like, the,
Rexes or whatever?
whatever they're called.
In MGS4, yeah.
The mooing,
oh, yeah, the mooing! I forgot!
And, like, the entire game you're playing as, like, old man Snake who's dying and coughing and just can barely walk. Meanwhile, Raiden's doing all the cool stuff.
You know the funny thing is...
It almost feels like MGS4 is a combination of, like, 50% fan service and 50% resentment.
I can see it. I do really like the old man Snake idea. I think it's a brilliant idea for a game, for the last MGS game. I just, obviously they could have done things differently, but they knew before MGS4 that he was aging rapidly, right? Like, they knew it at some point, right? Like, even in MGS2, or was that just in 4?
That was just in 4.
Just in 4. Dang it. I thought they would have mentioned it at some point in 2 and be like, Snake, you aged 10 years in 1 year or whatever, but...
I mean, by MGS2, Snake is, like, in his, like, 30s to 40s. I don't know, I think it's a stupid retcon. But I understand the implications of it on a narrative level. It's just, like, they introduced the concept way too late.
Yeah. Even if they, like, had it happen 30 years in the future or whatever, that'd be like, okay, I get it, yeah. I love the idea. I like the idea of like an old action hero or whatever, like...
So he's 35 to 37 years old in MGS2 because of the 2-year time skip.
Yeah.
And in MGS4 he's 42.
Wow.
So it's only a 5-year time skip and, like, that much happened.
Yeah. Yo, it's got the grip levels! I do not believe that was a thing. Snake, this is how you hold on.
Here's how to repel. Press the A button to kick up.
Yeah. Just push the A button to just do stuff. This section is so insignificant.
Speaking of Kojima, because why wouldn't we? Did I see correctly that there's a TV show based on Death Stranding? So, what's it just going to be Norman Reedus, and it's just going to be literally the cutscenes again?
I didn't see anything.
Isn't that a thing? Or a movie based off of it?
Maybe.
Huh.
I really don't care about Kojima's career anymore.
Rip. Yeah, I thought I saw... You know that indie company A24? They do all those really low-budget horror movies.
Yeah.
I think they're doing it.
That's cool.
Kojima Productions and A24 team up to adapt Death Stranding.
I mean, it's already, like...
A movie.
80% a movie, so
Yeah.
it's not going to be that different.
Live-action feature film. So yeah, I was like, okay, great. Because I was like, I don't want to play the game because the game sucks. So, that's awesome. Let me just watch the movie then. Oh, yeah. So I just watched last night, because me and Ferris this week are going to see Godzilla -1, which I heard is
I hear it's really good.
Incredible. Yeah. So I watched last night Shin Godzilla. And man, so like 2016 or so. So I guess it's the last like Japanese Godzilla. And man, let me tell you, that was an incredible experience. It's 2 hours long, so it's not the longest thing in the world. The thing about it that's so great, I'm not a weeb at all, as we've discussed several times. But the thing that's great about it is it's not so much about like every American Godzilla is like Joe Schmo has a life, and Godzilla appears, and this is how it affects his life, right? Oh, my wife is stuck at the place where Godzilla is, my kids, whatever. Like, it's always like that. This was more of like a governmental/politics movie that had Godzilla in it, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that sounds way better than having the generic stock family you do not give a single crap about.
It was like...
I'd rather have the government trying to figure out what WTF to do about
That was it.
Godzilla.
That was the majority of it. They're like, Godzilla.
How do I get up? Okay.
Godzilla just showed up out of nowhere, like they were just having a normal day, and then they had to get like the parliament together or the prime minister. And the thing is, the prime minister was like clearly like not ready for it, so they'd be like, "We need your opinion. What are we gonna do?" And they had to have conversations like, "Hey, do we shoot a nuclear warhead at it? Is everybody?" There's a period where they're going to do a strike on Godzilla, like a man strike, and there was a couple people who hadn't evacuated yet, and the prime minister turned it off because there were civilians in the area, and I'm like, man, that's such a good idea. So yeah, I highly suggest it. Trev, it's on it's on our Amazon Prime. I purchased it because it was only $3. It was $4 to rent it and $3 to purchase it. So
you were watching?
Yeah,
you can watch it at any time.
Okay.
I was
But yeah, it
riding
was
in the back
really
of their
good.
truck.
I watched
Thanks to
half
the
of,
stealth
or
camouflage.
like a third of Godzilla 2014, but when Malcolm in the
How did you
Middle
get
dad
here?
died, I turned it off.
The elevator.
I liked 2014.
I didn't care about any other character, and when he died, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
I liked it because Godzilla was kind of like an anti-hero.
That's
For
why
some
I took
reason,
the
when
elevator.
Americans make Godzilla, they can't have Godzilla be
The
like
elevator was working.
just
Yeah, that's right.
either like a force of nature. They don't ever make him up. They make him like, oh well, he's actually fighting a bigger, badder monster, and he has to save the world. Even though he's not doing it to save the world, he still does, man. And it's like, why can't Godzilla just be this
You're
thing that's like,
incredible.
I was created because
Like
of
a
nuclear
movie hero or something.
bombs, and I just want to
No.
destroy stuff.
You're wrong. In the movies, the hero always saves the girl.
Also,
You mean Meryl?
the
Sorry. Forget I said anything.
early in the movie in Shin Godzilla, he's like not morphed yet. Like he's like a pupate. Is that the word I'm looking for?
There's
Form?
something I've
And
really
it's
gotta ask
disgusting, but it's really cool at the same time.
you. It's why I followed
Like
you up
his
this far.
his eyes aren't fully formed, so they're
Have
like
you
all white and
ever
weird and stuff. And it's just, I was like,
loved
this is so cool. I guess it's kind of like a retelling
you
of
came to ask.
the first one.
Yeah.
No,
from 54.
I mean,
They call it -0, so
I was
No, Shin
wondering if
Godzilla.
even
Oh,
soldiers
okay.
fall
I
in
think
love.
I think that's a series they've just
What are you trying
retold
to
the original
say?
one a million times.
Do you think love can bloom even
Yes.
on a
they said the
battlefield?
thing.
Man, Otacon looks so weird in this game.
I do.
They gave him
I
like
think
Chad
anytime,
jaw.
any place.
You know, in the past, I was always like, man, Otacon's like
But if you love
weird
someone,
romance with
you have to be able
Sniper
to
Wolf
protect
just
them.
seems so forced and bad. But now
I
that
think so,
you realize that he's like a sheltered nerd who probably
I
has
have a
very
favor
little
to ask.
human contact with anybody,
Uh-oh.
it's like,
Don't
yeah,
worry,
it makes sense that
it'll
he's
be
so
easy.
infatuated with a pretty girl who
I
like
told you before,
looked
I won't
his
hurt
way
anyone.
once.
He is literally the
I don't want
the
to.
incel of this universe.
Okay.
Yeah, like
The
one
elevator's
girl
stopped
was
down
like,
there.
I wouldn't
"Hello,
say,
how are you?" And it's like, "I'm in love."
I wouldn't say he's an incel. He's just sort of
You
just a
see?
sheltered nerd.
I guess that's true. Oh yeah, he does. Doesn't he marry someone or something?
That's
in PS4, or am I thinking of something
They
different?
have a really okay.
It was
Now
working
this is
before,
forced,
now
but
it
they have
isn't.
that forced Naomi
Maybe the
romance
panel
with
fixed
him.
That's right. That's right.
And I
Can
think they
fix it.
literally just did it. It was another thing where
It was
Kojima was like,
working
I just have to
before.
do the same thing again.
If it's the
Remember
mechanism,
when
leave it to me.
Otacon cried over
Gotta
Sniper
go.
Wolf? Let's have
Goes
Otacon
fly.
cry over dying Naomi.
Okay. I'll stay here and hold the fort.
God, Otacon's
Good luck.
life is so crappy.
And Naomi also has to deal with Vamp, who's
You
also
look
the
like
most
hell.
nothing,
Are you okay?
unredeemable, characterless character ever. And like you have this scene where like
Don't
Naomi
worry.
has to inject
If I do this, it doesn't matter.
Vamp with nanomachines to kill him, and then she does it himself.
I
and
just
it
pretend like I'm
there's
not
like
here.
no emotional connection at
And
all.
then I'm not
I just don't
scared.
care.
Vamp was okay cool in 2. He definitely was the least cool of
Strange
all of
logic.
the what's that? Cell?
counting
Dead Cell?
on you.
Dead Cell.
Yeah, I think so.
He's the least cool of Dead Cell, but he wasn't in it a lot, and you're just like, oh, he's immortal, whatever. Like, it was kind of cool. But when they made him a bigger character in 4, it's like, all right, bud, like, that's enough.
And Ryan has to deal with him a lot because he's also like immortal, basically. But even his death is so unsatisfying because I think he either rips the nanomachine like injector out of Otacon's hands or Naomi's hands and does it himself, so you don't even get that like validation of being like, oh, he died because of someone else's actions. No, he just killed himself.
Right.
It's so stupid.
Completely not based. Okay. I was gonna say hello, chapter 8. Yo, that jamming does not last long.
It does not.
Also, I was always curious what the particles floating around are with chaff grenades. Like, I guess it's just to symbolize that, like, it's a thing that's currently going. But I was always curious about, like, is that an actual thing? Like, if you had a chaff grenade, would it actually, like...
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know nothing about guns or technology or anything like that. Kind of purposefully. I only have so much room in my brain for random bad horror game information.
Yeah, gun nerds are unbased.
Yeah. I do feel bad for, like, hardcore gun nerds when there's, like, somebody just being an idiot about guns, because all the gun nerds are like, oh my god. Like, of all things, it makes you look... It makes the gun nerds look super bad. Like, if there's, like, a picture somebody puts up on social media of them, like, holding a gun incorrectly or whatever, it's like, great, 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 great. Like, I can't imagine, like, being super into guns and then having, like, idiots.
Yeah,
like
especially
that.
if they're being, like, super unsafe about something.
Right. Like, just holding up, like, a Glock in, like, the mirror or whatever, it's like, okay, please. Because then, you know how everyone is. They're like, all people are bad with guns, you know. It's an easy, like, stance to take. That would frustrate me a lot.
So, the snake's finally come out of his hole. Are you ready now, my brother?
What?
Why are you calling me brother? Who the hell are you?
I'm you. I'm your shadow.
What?
Ask the father that you killed. I'll send you to hell to meet him.
No, you mean ask, paramedic random guy.
This fight sucks. I hope you like,
Nikita? Or Stinger?
Thermal. I'm gonna be using it the entire battle.
Wow. A literal straight-up missile takes 1/20th of a helicopter's life. Okay. I've only taken 12 Stinger missiles straight to the body of this. We're fine. But a 13th, that's too much.
Yeah, seriously, like in reality, like this helicopter would go down in like 2 missiles max, if not just 1.
I would feel like it would be 1. But yeah, even if you're being nice in like 2 or 3, but it's like, I get it, it's a boss fight, I understand, but it's still like... I oftentimes wonder, you know how some games, it's all about being like super realistic, and some games it's not? I'm always curious as to which side MGS takes. Because sometimes they make it like ridiculously realistic, and sometimes they're like, no, it's fine. Vamp can just live forever, whatever, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, this game always skirts the line between realism and absolute lunacy.
Because they'll have these long conversations about, like, real-life politics stuff, and it's like, oh, that's very realistic. Very boring and realistic, I get it. At least better than Death Stranding.
Yeah, there's too much pseudoscience in Death Stranding for me to take it seriously at all. Also, the writing is absolutely horrible. I can't wait for the TV show for you to experience the Princess Peach line.
Yeah, I only ever got a couple hours into that game. And the great thing about the TV show, or the movie, is they can just get the same actors, because it's just all actors doing mocap. so they can get Norman Reedus. Guillermo del Toro. I forget what his name is in the game. He's the chunky guy with the beard.
The only one I remember is the one guy, Die Hard Man.
Oh yeah. Oh, and based Mads Mikkelsen's in it. I forget who he is.
Oh yeah, he's a guy.
I mean, Kojima just has his buzz. He's got to give him work. You know what I'm saying? It's like how some directors use the same people in like every movie. Like, what's his name? Martin Scorsese uses Robert De Niro in like literally every movie, even if it makes no sense. Like, I like the movie, but a couple years ago they made a Netflix-only movie called, oh god, what is it called? Now, hold on. Now I'm curious.
Oh.
The Irishman. The Irishman. Oh my god, that slowed down. And, what's his name? Robert De Niro plays, like, a young man in it. Like, this 75-year-old man. And there's literally a line where... And they, like, de-age him digitally and whatever. But there's literally this line that's like, here's this kid I was telling you about. And, like, 75-year-old Robert De Niro comes in and is like... Yeah, that's me.
Oh, Silicon
Yes!
Knight! Literally a missile!
Do it. Shoot a million. Wait, what?
Pure shot.
Why did the one... Why did the one blow up behind him and the other one...
The one that exploded behind him was the one he kicked, standed off.
Yeah. Do you think Liquid's happy?
The one thing I'll definitely say in defense of MGS4 is that it doesn't have any obnoxious celebrities or celebrity voices or things that take you out of the story or...
Yeah! Hold on. Record stretch, freeze frame. Yeah, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got in this position.